Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Board and Brew. Today we're looking at Deadbox Dungeons. Deadbox Dungeons is a fantasy themed dungeon crawler, plays 1 to 4 players in about 30-60 minutes, and it fits in the deck of a box. Simple as that. Now, it's published by Ariah Studios, but to play 3 to 4 players you do need a second copy of the game. It also runs primarily off a free companion app, but you can print off the print and play quests, but it does not offer as much random variety or replayability in my opinion. But we'll get into the unboxing right now. As you open up, you're greeted with 3 different things: pawns, cards and dice. The rulebook is the same size as the deck box. It's nice and small. It has a QR code for the app. It has the website where you can find the print and play quests. These also are available on bg.com. It shows the setup of the game, the rounds, the player actions, how to explore the dungeon, how to spawn the monsters of the dungeon, how combat works, how skill checks work, a bit of a glossary on what is in the game, keywords just to refresh, and then an overview of each of the cards: enemy cards, hero cards, equipment cards, ability cards, and the item cards. The dice, there is normal white-sided dice which work for the combat phase. There is also green, blue and red dice. Each dice is either a range or a melee for the blue and green, and the boss is represented by the red dice. There's also a number which indicates their level or their hit point aspect. For each point of damage for each successful 6 total, that knocks them down by 1 hit point or 1 level. You roll these at the start of a combat phase to justify their level and what type of monster they are in terms of melee or range. You then have your different pawns to monitor your way around the dungeon. Each one looks very similar to one of the different classes, so staffs, bows, swords and shields, or monks. There's 5 different colours. Yeah, that you can only play 4 players, so you can pick your favourite colour if you really want to. It doesn't really matter, it's just a way of monitoring your movement around the dungeon. And then there's all the cards. First off, we have the reference card, which references the rounds, the actions, what you can do, and it's double-sided, so it also references the combat phase and the different ranges of each character. We then have the various classes or heroes in the game. These are double-sided, as you can see. Each hero has different attributes, so you have your melee, your range, your defense, your movement, then you have your skill checks on the side, which is strength, dexterity, wisdom and charisma, and then you have your health at the bottom. Each one's unique in its own way, offering a different variety of attributes, and you can play however you want. You then move on to the different equipment cards which go alongside the characters. These have modifiers to your attack rolls, so it tells you how many dice to roll, the modifiers for melee, range, defense and movement. Double-sided, so you've got a variety of different ways to attack monsters, and the bottom you can use the tracker to monitor how much treasure you collect during the dungeon. We then move on to the abilities in the game. Again, these are also double-sided, and these modify your skill checks: strength, dexterity, wisdom and charisma. Each class or ability has 3 different abilities attached to it, with their cost in energy, and you'll be getting the energy throughout the dungeon when you attack monsters. You then have your trackers. There's 2 of each tracker: treasure, health and energy. These go underneath the hero, equipment and ability cards. Double-sided, so it's 1 to 20 on each one, and you'll adjust these throughout the dungeon. We then move on to the different items in the game which you purchase throughout the shop. These are different varieties, different things from each card. So you have the healing potion, which costs 10 treasure to buy, but recovers all hit points. You then have the spectre roll, which costs 4, but you can perform 2 dice rolls at +2 modifier for ranged attacks. You or your ally must have line of sight of the target. And finally you have Foresight Scroll, which costs 4 treasure, but you can explore a new room from wherever you are, so you haven't got to be on the adjacent map tile. And obviously these get cycled through as you go along. There's also a couple runes, which are double-sided. The loot cards aren't double-sided as they are drawn throughout the game. However, the rune cards are, as these help towards different quests and different dungeons, and just monitor the campaign if you want to. We then move on to the various monsters. As I said, there's different coloured dice. You've got your green, your blue and your red dice. There is the melee and range for each colour, and these are also double-sided, offering different melee, range, defence and movement for each different monster. So you've got a good variety. That's also available for the boss. They also have certain hero targets. So the Zealot here, which is a ranged character, stays at max range and targets the closest hero to it at all times. There's also a special ritual which we explain during the campaign. And then finally we have all the different room cards. There is 1A to 15A, but these are also double-sided as well. So you've actually got about 30 different dungeon tiles. Some of the dungeons have different stuff. So the little green outline here is where your character starts throughout the dungeon. You then move throughout the dungeon via the overlap. There is a pink tile on each one which locates where the monsters spawn. Then you have different parts of the dungeon. So little red ones like these here are the traps, and then the blue ones here is where water, which hinders your movement. Traps, you take damage if you move into it. Water, you have to spend more movement. All these are different in every way. Tells you where the different entrances from each room, how it locks together as well. So you've got a very big variety of customization and replayability in this game. And that is all the cards and components of Deck Box Dungeons. It's a very small footprint game, as it just fits in the deck of a box. It's got a lot of replayability with the print and play quests and the companion app, and it's also very portable, so you could play it wherever you want. All you've got are meeples to monitor your dungeon movement and dice to roll to see what you're fighting and how you actually do during those fights. Overall, I've not played this game much yet, but the few times I have, I really enjoyed it. So I'll hopefully be doing a playthrough video very soon for you guys. So if you've liked what you've seen today, don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel. Leave a comment below on how I can improve the channel, or comment on the game yourself. Have you got this game and how well do you think it does in your game shelf as well? So I'm gonna leave that there, guys. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and follow, leave a comment below, and I'll catch you next time on Board and Brew. See you later, guys.